Hello guys, I'm here in Riohacha Beach today. This is my second video of the solo travel series, and today I'm going to share with you how I travel. I want to share with you how do I get from place to place, where do I sleep, how do I choose my next destination, and also what do I usually carry on my backpack. This is a very important thing. So basically, I'm going to talk about stuff that can help you on your next trips. I'm also going to share some thoughts on couch surfing, volunteering website opportunities, and hitchhiking. Don't worry if any of these words doesn't ring a bell. I'm going to explain them later for you. ¿Ah? Sí, claro. So for those of you who don't know, I travel on a really tight budget. I left London more than a year ago, and all the money I had saved at the time, it's long gone. So now I have to find ways to keep generating money while on the road. So because of this, I have to adapt my lifestyle. I can't just go out and have dinner all the time. I can't take expensive buses. I can't not take a 20-hour bus because it's quicker to fly. All of these things cost a lot of money. And also, I have to choose very carefully which activities I'm going to pay for. So if I want to do an expensive tour, or if I want to go scuba diving or bungee jumping, I have to choose them very carefully not to ruin my budget. This may sound very limiting for you, but the truth is when you don't have a time restriction, like me, I don't have a time to go back home, I haven't bought a flight back, you kind of end up being able to see everything you want even though you don't have the money. So there's always ways to go around this. You can, if you want to stay in a fancy hostel with a bar and a swimming pool and a view over the beach, you can simply just go there, ask if they're looking for volunteers. They usually take volunteers for minimum 2 weeks, and there you go. You can spend 2 weeks in a really cool hostel meeting other people and not spending a single penny. Let's say you want to do an expensive tour, going whatever, Machu Picchu, going here in Colombia, going to Punta Gallinas, which is really expensive. What you can do is either talk to hostels, they usually sell tours, or you can go straight to an agency, a travel agency, and just speak to them. Listen, I'm going to set up a group of 5-6 people, and they're all going to buy the tour from you, and in exchange that I would ask you if I could go for free. So this happens very often, or you can even sell tours and get commission from tour agencies. So there's always ways to go around the challenges that come with traveling on a really small budget. Okay, let's jump onto here, get my backpack, and see what I usually carry with me. This, my backpack. Let's just take this off. Yep. And open this. I need to organize this before I show you. Blankets, comfortable clothes, jeans, shorts, 6 t-shirts, jackets, shoes, camping gear, personal stuff, underwear, laptop, my tent, and the sleeping bag. And there you go. This is what my backpack looks like when it's fully packed. Everything's inside. Obviously I cannot fit my tent and the sleeping bag inside, so I just put them hanging outside. It's pretty light. I weighed it last time in Ecuador, and it was about 13-14 kilos. Obviously I have a lot of gadgets, my computer, my camera, my equipment for the GoPro and stuff, so it kind of adds up a little bit of weight, but apart from that, pretty decent to like walk when I'm hitchhiking with it for a long period. I also have a backpack which I usually use to carry my stuff during the day, so you don't have to carry your massive backpack everywhere you go. So it's pretty useful, and basically I just fit stuff inside and I put it back with my backpack inside of it when I'm traveling from one city to another. So it is pretty important that your backpack is not too heavy. You're gonna have to carry it at all times, from the hostel to the bus terminal to the airport, or maybe just walking around looking for a place to stay, walking around wasting time until your bus leaves or your flight leaves. So make sure you don't have unnecessary stuff on your backpack. Be careful when packing. One of the things you're gonna realize with the time is that a lot of things that you packed are just adding up weight to your bag and you don't really need them. This is a very common mistake. I did exactly the same. I packed too many clothes that I really didn't use them during the time. I also made a really major mistake, which was not checking properly where I was going to, which places I was going to visit. So I ended up not packing any warm clothes, and the first 4 months of my trip were in the mountains at 3,000, 4,000 meters high, and the only thing I had was a blanket that I got from the airplane coming from Portugal to South America. So please be aware of that. In your case, if you're traveling for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, I would personally say that 2-3 pairs of jeans and shorts is more than enough. 4 or 5 t-shirts, so you can have a new t-shirt every day. You're gonna end up buying stuff here that you can wear as well as a souvenir. Underwear as much as you want. I would say maximum 2 pairs of shoes. This is something that people usually bring a lot and they end up not using them, and it weighs a lot in your bag, so be aware of that. So how do I travel? For the past 12 months, if you've seen my videos, you probably know by now that I hitchhike pretty much everywhere. And for those of you who don't know what hitchhiking is basically going outside of the city to the highway and just raising your thumb, waiting for someone to pick you up and take you either to the next town or to wherever you want to go to. So usually I decide where I want to hitchhike or take a bus based on the relation between distance and price. Lately, my first option has been hitchhiking, not because of price, but because I really enjoy hitchhiking. You connect with people on a very personal level. Sometimes you speak to them for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, and you have the chance to tell your story to them. They have the chance to tell their story to you. They have the chance to share with you their views of their country, share with you little secret spots that they like, and they tell you that you should visit. And this is the kind of knowledge that you cannot get by sitting on a bus and reading a book of guidebook of Colombia, guidebook of Peru, or a guidebook of wherever you're traveling to. And it will happen that they will invite you for lunch or for dinner, they will invite you to stay at their place, they will invite you to meet their relatives. And this is the beauty of hitchhiking. You really connect with these people. You're gonna make friends with some of them if you ever try to hitchhike. Obviously, I'm not saying that hitchhiking is always gonna be better than taking a bus. Of course, sometimes you get squeezed in a car, or you have someone that doesn't really talk back to you and you're just sitting there for like an hour until 2 hours, whatever, and not really enjoying. But think about it, at least you're getting from point A to point B for free. Food. So food is where I blow up all my money. I'm constantly craving food. I'm the monster of everything. Cookies, peanuts, meat, pasta, whatever, except vegetables. Vegetables are not cool. So food is actually a really big expense for me. And the way I try to fight this cost is by cooking every time I can. If I'm staying in someone's house, I'll use their kitchen. If I'm staying in a hostel, I'll definitely use the hostel's kitchen. If I'm camping in the wild, I have a little stove I bought in Bolivia and I'll cook my own meal there. My meals usually come out around 2-3 euros, but don't get fooled by the price because I actually have pretty decent meals. I usually cook 200 grams of meat, pasta, rice, fries, whatever style I'm feeling like, and this is the best way I found to cut my expenses. Without starving myself, obviously, because that's cheaper. The only time I didn't cook on my trip was while I was in Bolivia for 2 months, and that's because in Bolivia it was way cheaper to go out to a local restaurant and eat there than actually cooking my own food. I would eat for 10-15 Bolivianos. That's about $1.50, so €1.20, and it would be a pretty decent meal. Meat, rice, fries, salad. Sometimes they wouldn't even have soup and juice, so that's pretty good. This is a budget killer. If you're not careful picking where you're gonna sleep, your money's gonna disappear in a blink of eyes. Trust me. Always make sure to check websites like booking.com, Hostel World. They'll show you what are the best prices, the best locations, the best reviews. Sometimes you won't find all the accommodation options on these websites, so always make sure that you walk around. I'm telling you this because I stayed in Cusco for 6 months. I was working as event manager in a hostel, This hostel would be pretty much the first option for everyone that was going to Cusco. The price was 30 soles, which is $10. But if you'd walk down the road 20 meters, there was a place that is not listed on this website charging 15 soles. So you could literally stay in that place for 15 soles, which was as good as the hostel I was staying in, and you could just come to the hostel where I was working and party, because that was the main thing, the main selling point of the hostel where I was staying in. During the 5 first months of my trip, I actually used couch surfing. For those of you who don't know what couch surfing is, it's a platform that allows travelers to host other travelers for free on their places. So let's say, for example, I'm back home in Portugal now and someone is traveling to Portugal. They can send me a message and request to stay in my place for free, and I can decide whether I want to let them stay in my place or not. Obviously, for some people this might be a bit weird, like why would you host a random person in your house? But well, that's up for debate, to be honest. In my opinion, it's an opportunity for cultural exchange, to get to know an interesting person, to kind of travel while I'm still in my country. So I can get to know other places through these people stories. So it's, in my opinion, it's a win-win situation for both. You save money in accommodation, and this person will get to know someone interesting with interesting stories and interesting lifestyles, and maybe get inspired to do the same thing. Who knows? So if you want to get involved in couch surfing, please, both travelers and hosts, make sure you check the person's profile before you accept to be in their house, or before you accept to receive someone in your house. Make sure you go to their profile, see what they look like, see what they tell about themselves, read the reviews of other travelers and other hosts, see what they say about them, and then make a decision whether you want to host them or not, or whether you want to stay in that host's house or not. It's pretty good to save money, it's pretty good to know new people, but it's also pretty good to be safe all the time. Look at this palm tree. It's so weird. That'll actually be a really cool spot to end up this video. Let's see if I can do something. Okay, I'm gonna try to film this here without falling. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, it's kind of windy. Before I wrap up, I wanted to talk to you about volunteering website opportunities. There's 3 websites: Workaway, LPEX, and Woof. Okay, I think it's better sitting. So yeah, if you're planning to go, let's say, a month to the south of Chile, to the Patagonia, which is really expensive, but it's also really beautiful, there's a good way to save on accommodation. You can look out for places to volunteer, and that will give you the opportunity to explore the area. You can stay for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, whatever you feel like. And I used it myself once in the north of Chile. I was a translator for an astrology tour guide in the mountains of Chile, and it was pretty cool. So I stayed three weeks getting to know the Elqui Valley's area. It was pretty beautiful. I camped in the mountains, I rode bicycles down mountains. It's close to the desert. There's lots of ruins of ancient civilizations. So this is the kind of thing that I probably wouldn't go there if I didn't find this opportunity to volunteer. So I definitely recommend you guys check these websites, and maybe you'll find something you like. So that's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below. And I'm heading there to see the sunset, because it's gonna be fucking sick.